Hi guys, it's Jess and Emanuel. We have a huge secret that we are going to tell you. This business is all about building relationships, and I want to tell you about an amazing experience that we had during the day of discovery. My upline, Juliana, she rented a home for us all to stay in together, and it was so much fun. He came with us. It was great being able to have that personal relationships, meeting them in person. So we stayed overnight with all of them. We went to the amazing day of discovery, and then the day after that, we had a whole team event that Juliana put together. She had me try and get as many people from my team as I could. She got as many people from her team as she could, and it was a great turnout. We loved getting together with everyone, meeting them in person, sharing just different things that we've enjoyed about the day of discovery and different things that we've been doing in our businesses that we see are working out. And I learned a ton from that event. We had some amazing speakers. One was my amazing husband. He came and he provided some amazing advice on kind of the A to Z of closing somebody without totally attacking people on social media. Like, we don't want to do that. Make sure you're not doing that. So he has some great advice of different things that we can do to help with that. So I'll turn over to you.
So I'm so grateful to be able to share just some tips in regards to A to Z on how to go out there and really build a big business. And like Jessica said before, and it's all about building relationships. You know, we don't want to be weird out there. We want to be normal, right? So unless you're a weirdo, then just stay weird. But one of the first things is form. So you want to, I don't know if there's going to be FORM here, but if not, it's okay. So form stands for family, occupation, recreation, motivation. And really, when you get to know someone, let's say you haven't talked with someone for like a really long time, it's kind of weird to just say, hey, do you know about AOScan if you're messaging them on Facebook, right? So you want to be normal, again, be normal. And the first thing you want to do is just say, hey, how's your family? You know, see what they're doing for work because you haven't caught up in a while. You know, what do they do for fun? It's important to know, you know, what they're doing for fun. Number 4 is what's their motivation? Maybe they have some goals and they don't know how to reach it. And so you're always kind of listening in, you know, because people like to tune into that radio station, WIIFM, which stands for What's in It for Me. So always just kind of listen to them. It's not about you at all. And if they do ask what you're doing, maybe mention AOScan really quickly, but then go back to talking about them. As you build that relationship, maybe weeks down the road, you can introduce them to what you're doing. So that's number 1 tip is form, family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Number 2, how many of you guys would like to get into like a flow of things? Like, you know, like how many people should I talk to today or how many people should I talk to tomorrow? You know, I'm super consistent one week, but then the other 3 weeks, not so much, right? Well, this is a really simple system. So there's 2, 5, 10. So if you're spare time, try to make a goal to talk to just 2 people a day. Just make contact with 2 people a day. Make friends, right? You're not trying to recruit, just make friends. 5 means you're part-time. So if you want to go part-time or you are part-time, then just at least contact 5 people. Connect with 5 people that day. And if you're full-time, you should be connecting with at least 10 people. I mean, you're full-time, you know. It's like, otherwise you're just sitting at a desk doing nothing, you know. So 2, 5, 10, that's kind of like my rule of thumb. And then the third tip is like, how do I talk to them? What do I say? You guys get nervous about that? How many of you guys get nervous about that? I do. One of the things that, did you raise your hand?
I did.
Okay, cool. So there's the 1, 5, 10 rule. So there's a couple of rules here, right? 2, 5, 10 is like the frequency of how many people I talk to. The 1, 5, 10 is like who you're talking with. So let's say I'm a 5, okay? Jess is a 5, so she's like my best friend, my soulmate. So she's like my 5. 10 would be like somebody you look up to and you respect, okay? A 1 is someone that you have a lot of influence over, okay? So there's 3 types of people. Your 1s, your 5s, people are kind of skeptical a little bit. The 10s, you look up to them, okay? Now, the way you talk to them is very, very different. You don't talk to my dad, who's a doctor, to the same person that you can get to watch a movie the next day and they don't even care what movie it is. Like, you want to talk to them differently. So with the 1s, you probably have friends that would love you if you invited them to go to the gym, or they go to a movie, like I said, and they don't even know what the movie is, but they just want to go with you because they love you. Maybe you're stranded in the desert, 3 states away. They'll pick you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You have your 1s. You have a lot of influence over, and they love you just because they love you, right? Those are people you should just be very direct and just say, hey, obviously you guys are friends, right? So just say, have you heard about AOScan? Let me give you a free session or whatever you do to kind of introduce it to them. Be more direct with them. So those are your 1s. Then they're your 5s. These are most of your friends. And now, again, before I go to the 5s, the 1s, you probably have only a handful of them. Don't think you have like 20 1s. You really don't. You probably only have like within your hand, right? With your fives, this is probably your 80% of your contacts are your fives. These are your friends. They knew you worked at Starbucks last year. They knew you came from corporate America. All of a sudden, you're AO Scan fan, you know? So they're kind of skeptical. You know, they maybe have a lot of questions and things like that. With them, you want to introduce them to the AO Scan, maybe give them a free intro session. But then you want to ask them, do you know anyone who might be interested in this type of device? I really need your help to kind of open up your contact list. Maybe you know people that might be interested. So why do you want to do that is because it kind of takes the pressure off them and takes the pressure off you. It's called the indirect approach. You may want to write that down. So indirect approach, you don't want to be direct with your friends because you don't want to be part of the NFL club, which means no friends left club, okay? And so with these people, you're just indirect. You can say, even when you're mentioning that there's like an introduction thing, you could say, maybe you can help me out and refer people to me in the future. That's why I'm giving you an introduction session, okay? And then at the end of it, stay cool, be James Bond and be like, hey, so how'd you enjoy it? Oh, this is awesome, amazing. Yeah, do you know anyone still that might be interested in this? So you see how it was indirect at the beginning, indirect at the end. They'll love you for it because they're like, wow, no pressure, no sales, and they'll call themselves out if they want the product. Then there's the tens. Those are my fathers. You want to use words like my father, for example, is an oncologist, and he's looking at me like, what is this device? I'm a doctor. I'm very successful. La la la. You know, so you want to say something like, "Hey, Dad, I really respect your opinion. You know, I know you're very business minded, and you know, you're very intelligent, and so you're kind of complimenting the tens because they're successful real estate agents, they're millionaires, they're doctors. These are the people that you actually really want in your business, but maybe you're kind of nervous to talk to them. All you really need to ask for is their help. So you want to write that down as, I need your help. I respect your opinion. Maybe you could look into this device that I've been looking into, and I want to give you a free scan. Maybe you might know someone who's interested. Again, with the tens, it's indirect. The fives is indirect, and the ones are direct. Does that make sense? Okay, so the fourth thing is about how to have sort of proper etiquette with social media. So how many of you guys have friends that all they do is post now what their business is all about? And there is something called unfollow where you won't see their news feed anymore because it's just too much. You drank the Kool-Aid. You don't want to do that. So again, guys, be normal. Back to the normal. The first thing you want to do is do a 1-in-5 ratio. So 1-in-5 ratio means this, is that out of 5 different posts that you make, 1 of them make it about AO Scan. So 4 of them could be family, could be a cool quote, maybe a book you're reading, maybe that amazing food you just ate with your partner, whatever. Just don't make it about business, and then do 1 post that's about AO Scan. So you're kind of piquing their interest, but you're not vomiting on them. They're going like, oh, all she posts about is AO Scan and AO Scan. I just can't, I'm not even interested anymore. And they will literally unfollow you, and they won't see any of your posts anymore. So you don't want to do that. Again, entering the NFL club, no friends left club. Don't do that. And then the 5th tip I want to give you is that a lot of people get sort of impatient with the recruiting process. So I'm going to give you guys something to make you breathe, to realize you're like, it is a process. So I want you guys to close your eyes and think about who brought you in this business, and was it an immediate thing or did it take some time? And most of you guys would say that it took some time. It wasn't just overnight. Some of you guys, yes, but most of you guys, it took some time. You had to look at some blogs. You had to look at a video. You had to talk to, some uplines. So it was a process, right? So what you want to do is if you have a paper with you, maybe draw these little symbols here. And this will really help you have to kind of just really relax about the recruiting phase, okay? The first thing is you want to draw an ear, okay? So draw like a little ear there. You don't have to be a good artist, okay? So just draw like a little ear. The second thing is draw an eyeball, just one little eyeball. The third thing is draw like a little magazine, or like a little book. And the fourth thing is draw like a bunch of stick figures together. Okay, so why am I telling you to do that? Is because the first thing is that people haven't gone through the whole process of looking into information unless they've seen what you've seen, they haven't heard what you've heard, they haven't read what you've read, and they haven't met the people that you've met. So until they go through that process, trust me, some of your people that are like really right about to get in, they've only like met someone, they've seen something. But what if they need to like read something, and what if they need to like come to an event where they can see, wow, this is like a real thing. So just know that if they haven't gone through that process, you have to be patient with them just the same way they were patient with you. So make sure that should make you feel really relaxed about recruiting, because you'll understand everyone's kind of on this sort of like food chain, and they're kind of like going across like a factory, and they have to like go through their process before they finally are, man, this is amazing, and now they're like wearing a cape with it and everything, you know. So I'm so grateful for you guys listening in. Hopefully these tips resonated with you. Take the ones that that really resonate with you and just run with it. Hopefully these steps will help you out in building a really great business where you're actually building relationships. And we look forward to seeing you soon at the next event.
Bye.
Bye.